It's the Joseph Bristol Show.
Alright, so welcome to another episode of the Joseph Bristol Show, right? So on today's episode, I wanted to talk about not only what the Joseph Bristol Show is about, but also about corporations and our politics. I was watching this news clip the other day, and they were talking about the power that the CEOs are having in our political process, and and how our politics run in our country. And they were saying how these CEOs are making such a huge difference, and how they're able to lobby together and create change in our politics. And what this pointed out to me, or what it really got me thinking about, that I think we should all be thinking about, or at least keep it in mind, is that these corporations and these CEOs, they put money into these politics. They're paying lobbyists to lobby on their behalf. So what does that mean, right? That means that there are companies that McDonald's will go to, and McDonald's pays these guys to then go to politicians and tell the politicians, hey, listen, we want to be able to kill cows and make their meat accessible in 24 hours, and we found a way to do it. It's a little unhumane, or it's real nasty, it's unsanitary, and we need you to not have the regulations to stop us, right? And then of course the corporations, or then the politicians would then be like, all right, cool. McDonald's shoots the people $50,000. They turn around, they make up the laws, they put the laws into power. This is how lobbyists work for corporations. So how do we defeat this? How do we stop this, right? Easy. We defeat the corporations by controlling the money, where we're spending our money. So if we're not gonna buy these people's products because these people are not treating people good, these people are not doing what we want them to do, that's it. We don't spend our money with them, we spend our money somewhere else. Those people now they won't have a choice. They'll have to change their business practices. You know why? Because they know that if they don't stop doing this thing that we don't want them to do, they're not going to get our money. And if they don't get our money, guess what? Their sales are going down. Their sales start going down. Their stocks start going down. Shareholders are complaining. People are leaving the company because they're saying that it's not worth any money. Why isn't it worth any money? Because, there's no black people as the CEO, so all the black people stop spending their money with this company. The owner said the N-word, so all the black people stop spending their money with this company. Like, that is the power of unity, of us coming together and saying that we're not going to buy these people's products because these people are not treating people fairly. They're not treating people good, right? And now how do we take that same power and transition it into politics, right? How do we get this dirty money out of politics? How do we make it so that these corporations can't pay off politicians and then turn around and still do whatever they want to us? Again, also very easy. We have to vote these politicians out of power. You have to vote them out of power. If the politician is not going to do what we tell them to do, guess what? You're fired. We're going to vote in the next guy. And if the guy is running, now he's not saying what you think he should be saying, he's not saying he's going to do what you think he should do, guess what you should do? You yourself should run for politics. You yourself should run for that governor's seat, that senator's seat, that mayor's seat, that city councilman's seat. Whatever public office it is, and you have the qualifications to hold that public office, you should do that, right? That's how we create change. We have to make sure that we're registered to vote. You have to make sure that we're actually going out to vote. So you got to look into early voting. When does your early voting start? You got to look into where are you allowed to vote at, right? Even with the early voting, you got to look into voting by mail. Maybe you don't want to leave your house. Maybe that's annoying to you. That's fine. Vote by mail. That's a whole nother thing. So voting is one of the most important things that we can use in order to create the change that we want to create. The next thing to do is we have to write our politicians. So you need to be writing your governor, writing your mayor, writing your city councilman, writing your senator. You're writing them to tell them what it is that you're complaining about. You don't feel good about these specific things. You want to see change. Change pertaining to police brutality, better police training, more money for teachers, more money for the infrastructure, roads, bridges, city transportation. You're writing to complain about facial recognition technology being used by the government and law enforcement. You're writing about unfair bails. Whatever is plaguing your nation, your town, your city. Too much murder is going on. Why is so much killing going on? It's too much free time on these people's hands. They need better education. They need better opportunities. Let's take away their opportunity to put themselves in a position that's dangerous for them. Let's take away their reason to commit crime, right? So you have to write your politicians. You have to say something. You have to complain. And also, by you writing them, this lets them know that someone's watching them. Someone is paying attention to what's going on and is holding them accountable. Someone can see what's happening and wants better and is expecting better, right? And then, as I said, the other thing that we can do is we ourselves can run for political office. You say to yourself, since this guy isn't going to do what I want him to do, I will run for the office. I will choose to take his place as a political leader, right? And how do you run for politics? Why is it so easy to run for politics? First off, you want to make sure that you have the credentials. So you look into, what does it take to be the mayor of my town or of my city? To be the president of the United States of America, you only have to be 35 or older and a United States citizen. That's it. Those are the only qualifications, right? So once you know the qualifications for the public seat, then you say, all right, well, how do I get my name out there? How will people vote for me if they don't know who I am? So now you have to raise up money. Now you're campaigning. Now you're having fundraisers. You're getting your name out there. More people know who you are in your city, in your area. As more people know about you, they're going to spread your message. They're going to talk about you. So when it's time to vote and they see your name, they're going to vote for you. Because they know that you represent what they represent. You want what they want. You're saying the same things that they're saying. So they're going to vote for you. So that's what you want. You're very happy about that. As I said, the politicians are being run by the corporations. The corporations pay lobbyists which is basically legal bribing. They're bribing the politicians to do what they want them to do. Deregulate them, allow them to drill in certain areas and do certain things. And these politicians, they do it because when they're voted out of power, they then go and get jobs in the industries that they help. Ajit Pai, who's the FCC head of board, used to work for Sprint, AT&T. And what did he do? As soon as he got into power, he took away net neutrality. So when he's done, when he leaves that post, guess what he's going to go back and do? He's going to go back and work in the tech industry. He's going to go back and work for a telecommunications tech company. So this is what they're doing. We have to get into power and create changes that stop these type of things. So we run to become senators and governors to take out private corporations' ability to buy off corporations. Get rid of lobbyists. We get rid of private money and dark money in politics. Get rid of all of that. You know what I mean? So that way people can run on honest platforms. But we the people who see the wrong in the world, we have to stand up, make noise, and do what's needed to guide the other people. We have to set up systems so that people can't hurt themselves. You know what I mean? So I think that was just in watching that news clip, I thought that, this isn't right, man. Corporations shouldn't be controlling our government. The way that America, the idea of America was that this is a land of the free. This is a place where people can go and you can go outside dressed how you want. You can go where you want. You can say what you want. You can be who you want to be, and no one is going to persecute you or hurt you for being yourself. Right? As long as who you are isn't publicly hurting another person. So if you're a man dressed in a dress, no one cares. You're not hurting anybody. But if you're a man dressed in a dress that has Hitler's face on it and it says "I love Hitler" and "I would kill all the Jews," guess what? You're hurting somebody. And so we have to say something. We have to step in to correct your behavior. But ultimately, we have to see that these corporations cannot be in a position where they're able to determine what's right and what's wrong and how our government should work. The government is controlled and worked by the people. The government's job is to protect the people, and the people regulate and police the government. All of our public officials, their offices should have a camera in their office 24 hours a day. We should be able to see, what is this public official doing? What are you doing? We want to know. What is the mayor doing? I want to see in the mayor's office. I should be allowed to see what he's doing every day, all day. He's getting paid by me, the taxpayer. Every person who reports to another person, the person who they're reporting to has the ability to see their work, right? So the boss can see the underlings' work. We, the people, are the boss of the public officials. We should be able to see their work. But we have to demand these things. We the people have to stand up and say that we're not going to allow corporations to run and control our politics. And like I said, the recap for that is we have to get out and vote. We have to make sure that we're making noise. We're letting our politicians know that we see what they're doing. We vote them out of power. We have to run against them if that's needed. You know what I mean? We'll take your place. We have to stop spending our money with corporations that aren't willing to pay us a livable wage, because no matter what the job is, you should be paid enough that you can live a comfortable life. It's that simple. If you're giving up your time and your energy and your time and your energy, if you're giving that up, you should be paid a decent amount to live a decent life. It doesn't matter. You should be paid a decent amount. And if the corporation can't afford to pay you a decent amount, then that should not be a business. So the federal minimum wage should be about $20 for inflation. The price of everything has gone up. Milk, water, cars, gas, housing, everything has gone up, but the amount that people are paid. So we need to figure out what is the average amount that everyone should be paid. Even if all you do is collect garbage or clean a toilet, you should be paid a livable wage. So that's on us to demand these things out of corporations. How do we demand them from corporations? We have to stop spending our money with certain people, and we start hurting them in their pockets. I'll tell you what they will do. They're going to start respecting us, and they're going to start to give us what we want, and they're going to do what we're telling them to do. And what we're telling them to do is pay us a livable wage. I personally think that everybody should be paid based on the profits of the company. So every employee would receive maybe 1% of the profit of that store. You know what I mean? And that way every employee would be more incentivized to do a better job, because now your pay is completely dependent on how well that store performs. Everyone's pay, everyone, the boss, all the employees, all the guy who cleans, because if it's not clean, no one will want to go in there to buy whatever it is that they're trying to buy. We have to change up the system, and just complaining about the system is not going to help. Just tweeting about the system on social media is not going to help. Talking to each other about this system, that can help, but we have to have reason for our conversation. There has to be guidance. The conversation can't just be just nonsense, just two people talking to make up noise. It has to have a purpose. What is the purpose that we're talking for, so that we know what we're doing when we're done talking, right? And then the other thing that I wanted to mention as well is the purpose of the Joseph Bristol Show, right? Like, why am I doing this? Why do I make these YouTube videos? So there's a couple of different reasons why I have the Joseph Bristol Show. My channel in general has a couple different shows on it, but the JB Show is like a vlog. This is a documentary of me recording how I feel and think about different things, societal things, right? and as well as a way for me to tell you guys about my artwork and what it is that I'm doing, and you know what kind of projects that I'm putting out, because I'm an artist. I make art, I write books, as well as I'll be writing a movie. Hopefully by the end of this year I should be able to film the trailer. I'm not sure. I gotta see how this whole thing goes. I got a lot of things that I've been working on. I got a lot going on right now. You can read about all that in my daily blog on josephRbristol.com. That's another way to get updates on my work, as well as the Joseph Bristol Show, which will give you updates on my work. And the recordings are a digital life, right? So which is going to be a part of the app that I'm working on. I'm trying to make my own app, like a digital afterlife app. But these recordings, all of this will go into my work, But this is just a video evidence of who I am as a person, for my children and for my children's children to see who I was. For people who want to know who is Joseph Bristol, well, you got videos of who he is, you know. So that's why I do it. But let's just all pay attention, man, and just watch what's going on in the world. And if you think politics don't matter to you, you know, you don't pay attention to politics, you don't care about that stuff, then, you know, you got to remember that you're still alive. You're still living in the city, and the city is in the state, and the state is in the country, and the country is run by politics. So you have to pay attention to what's going on. If you work for a company, the reason why you want to know who's the owner of the company is because you want to know if this guy is going to be making changes to the company that will affect you. That's why you want to know. You may not care about the guy personally, but his decisions are going to impact your life. So you want to know certain things. You want to know. You know what I mean? So just pay attention to the politics, please, guys. And let's just all remember, man, that we all out here trying to do the same thing. We all just trying to survive and be happy. We all just trying to live. You know what I mean? And I always say that we're all kids. We're all babies. But that's a whole nother video to explain exactly what I mean by what I'm saying with that. But let's all just take our time with each other. Be patient. Be gentle with one another. Be kind. And let's pay attention to where we're spending our money. Don't give your money to these corporations that don't treat us good. Let's get out. Let's vote. Let's write our politicians, and let's make sure that we treat each other good with decency, man. Thanks for watching another episode of the Joseph Bristol Show.